Both players, just what you think of how the defense played tonight. Obviously, they only scored 10 points. From the distance, it looked like a pretty good effort, but from your vantage point, how did you guys play tonight?
I feel like it was an all-around good effort defense. You know, we got a goal to hold them under the 22 points, so hold them to 10. That's something we can hang our heads high on. You know, I'm really proud of the defense for all the fourth down stops, bending, but not bending, and just keep going and just making them keep snapping again and again. So I feel like it's something that we can build on, but just got to try and keep continuing, try and keep growing so we can get a win.
Yeah, piggyback off of what Coop said, really, defense, we're building, you know, we got something going on here, building great defense. And really everybody just doing their part. That's what we were taught, and as you saw tonight, you know, it showed.
And as far as your interception tonight, just take us to that play and how you're able to get it back.
I mean, just always finishing, you know, through the whistle and seeing the ball in the air. Got to take the opportunity, you know, to make a play. And, you know, do what I can with the ball in my hands.
Yeah, I mean, the red zone defense is kind of one of the biggest parts. You talk about fourth down stops. Just when it means most, this defense was getting stopped tonight. Just kind of talk about how important that was. You know, what the biggest plays when you guys need it as a team. Just how big is that?
It's a culture around here that we're trying to build. We're trying to play tough and dependable football. So when we try to, they can get as many yards as they can, but we got to keep making them snap it again and again. And once the time to get to fourth down, it's man on man. It's macho on macho. So we're trying to just play tough football, and I think it showed tonight.
Yeah, going straight downhill. It's a culture. You know, we do a lot of third and fourth downs in practice, so I believe we were very prepared for that.
Quick question. What was the talk during halftime for the defense? What did you guys talk about? Like, what you guys did good, what you guys did bad?
We knew they just had a couple explosive plays, but other than that, we felt like the game plan was going to what we thought was going to happen. So we was just trying to build off of that. And then we knew, like, hey, it's a defensive battle. It's 3-0, so it's all about who's trying to be the better defense. So it's like, we just got to keep trying to continue and grow off of that.
Yeah, growing off the momentum we had in the first half, and really just game plan never changed. So we just kept doing what we're doing. If anything, we just went harder.
As far as just being a first game, it looks like the defense is ahead of the offense. Was it like that in camp where the defense was kind of getting the better of the offense, or was it kind of 50-50?
No, it was definitely give and take. You know, I have full confidence in Coach Moorhead in the offense. It was a slow game, but his first game, there's stuff like that happened because they was getting after us in camp, and we'll have days where we'll get after them. So it's all give and take. This is just a fluke game, I believe. So they'll be able to go to the drawing board and get back on top.
Yeah. I don't know, I'm just saying, I mean, it's only the first game. We got a lot of games left. Season just getting started. If anything, we're just going to keep building, keep pushing the offense. Our offense keeps pushing us.
And with Akron defeating Kent State and Toledo last year, there was a lot of momentum. But there were a lot of new players this year, obviously. Some players who transferred out, players transferred in. Just how did that affect, you think, the play of the defense and offense tonight, where it's the first game for a lot of guys together?
We had a lot of time together with the spring and the fall. You know, we had some good players transfer out. We also brought some good players in. You know, so I feel like with this team, the camaraderie, the cohesion with the team, this is like a very good unit. Like the defense is probably the closest. I've been here 3 years. It's probably the closest the team's been on, like, before, just offense and defense. So that's all it is, just building the culture and just staying to it. I feel like with all the transfers, you get so many new people and new faces and new people, like different people leaving out. But I feel like with this team, it was something special that we all like kind of banded in together and like bonded fast.
Yeah, exactly what Coop said. I mean, the chemistry here is different. I mean, it's my first year here. Just got here in January, but I remember just coming here and the guys instantly took me under their wing. And this group is definitely different.
What are kind of your opening comment, overall thoughts on how the game played out tonight?
I thought we had a good week of preparation in all three phases. thought we played hard. The defense really did an excellent job of keeping points off the scoreboard. A little bit of bend but don't break, but definitely a winning performance. And offensively, we had some opportunities throughout the course of the game. And we're second and goal at the 5, and the only thing that we can't do there is turn the football over. So disappointed in the offense, and from an accountability standpoint, disappointed myself because I put the game plan together and called a play. So we've got to do a better job on offense, and that starts with me.
Just make sure we're using the mic too, guys.
Coach, talk about your special teams constantly putting your defense in positions to succeed.
Yeah, we had a really good battle for the punting position between Joey Castle and Braden Johnson, and they averaged 49 a kick, had a long 68 for inside of 20 and a touchback. So when you're not moving the ball offensively and the defense is, continuing to get off the field, it becomes a game of field position. And I thought our special teams did a really nice job, particularly the punt unit and coverage units.
Joe, if you kind of can expand on your defense, who were some of the guys that really, felt like had a good game?
I mean, right off the top of my head, you look at the numbers there. Shammond Cooper with 10 tackles, Alex Branch with 9, Justin Anderson with 9, DeMarco with 8. But I think, we rotate a lot of guys through there. I don't think there's anyone on the defense that you would look at and necessarily say they're an elite level player, but our sum is greater than our parts, and I think they played well together. Good complementary football, good gap integrity. Got pressure on the passer, played some tight coverage, and like I said, we're good on third down. Got off the field on third and fourth down when we needed to.
Coach, you guys, how you doing, Coach?
Better.
You guys had a hard time getting Alex Adams the ball today. He had that opportunity early on where it fell out of his hands. What happened there? Did they just game plan him well, or did Ben just have a hard time finding him down the field?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. We put the game plan together off of their 12 games from last year, and did some things a little bit differently. Played a little bit more cover 2 and 2 Tampa than they had in the past, and when you play that, it limits some of the opportunities for the outside receivers, particularly the Z with Alex plays. But I wouldn't say it's anything where we were not trying to get him the ball, but I think a lot of it was a byproduct of the coverages they were playing, our ability to protect the passer, and then certainly we had guys open getting them the ball.
So defense played well, but they had about 160 rushing yards. So what do you guys need to do to sort of make sure that you guys have a better run game against a run?
I think ultimately when I gauge defensive performance, the first thing that we look at is points allowed. So I'm not going to get really caught up in obviously we don't want to give up a bunch of rush yards and leaky yardage and things like that. But if we can give up, whatever we gave up, said 160-some yards, and hold them to 1 touchdown and a field goal, I'll take that trade-off.
And then, how much part of the offense do you feel like Michael Johnson could have moving forward?
Yeah, we had we have packages in for Michael where he lined up a receiver, lined up a quarterback, and I think he got to see some of that. One of the missed opportunities was, when we were down in the red zone and he ran the ball and Sean Patrick was uncovered. It's the same play that we ran against Toledo. We had him open and we missed that one. But Michael's a good football player. I think he's logged roughly 250 college snaps, so he has experience and can run the ball and shown the ability to throw it during camp. So we got to continue to find ways. And we had no flow, we had no rhythm, so it was difficult to kind of get into any sort of any sort of situation where we could utilize him more in that game.
Coach, what's your message to the offense? What will you guys be working on this week? And also, what is the status of Sean Patrick coming out of that?
Yeah, upper body injury. So we'll find out more tomorrow about Sean. It's disappointing because he was playing well. My message to the entire team was kind of what I said at the beginning here, that our defense played well enough for us to win the football game. Offensively, we did not. and miss some opportunities. But at the end of the day, when you get shut out, it's not close to being good enough. And from an accountability standpoint, like I said, I put a game plan together. I called the plays, and there were certainly things there that were good opportunities that we didn't. But at the end of the day, did or didn't, we didn't score. So we got to find a way to regroup, find a way to identify what was wrong and why, and make a plan to fix it. And ultimately, I got to do a better job with the game plan and calling the plays and put the kids in position to be successful.
Coach, I mean, the offense, they kind of had their fair share of struggles today. In your opinion, was there one main factor that kind of stuck out to you, on the offensive side of things, or was it just kind of a little bit of everything tonight?
I say when you don't score, it's a combination of things rather than one. I mean, we did, average, had a couple of backs average 5 yards a rush, so. But the average wasn't good. I mean, at the end of the day, we got to be good on first and second down to stay out of third and longs when they had a really good pressure package. Right, we didn't create enough explosive plays. We had a critical turnover in a tight red zone. Didn't convert enough third downs and didn't score in our red zone opportunities. And those are the four statistical factors that determine the outcome of the game. And we're going to look back on those and didn't do well enough on any of them offensively. So I wouldn't say it was necessarily one thing, but a combination of things on offense.
Coach, what would be 3 takeaways that you could take from this game? That you
3 takeaways?
Yeah.
That I was pleased with our defensive performance, and if we can continue playing in that manner for the rest of the season and keep improving, that it'll give us an opportunity to win some ball games. And certainly on offense, we need to improve the entire operation, particularly the execution part of it. And I was pleasantly surprised with Joey Castle. Like I said, that battle had gone on throughout camp, and he did a real nice job there.
Coach, you guys had 4 guys running the ball today.
Yeah.
Is it going to continue kind of being this running back by committee? Because I know Grant was projected to be a big runner for you guys. Sean Patrick Johnson did a lot, and Marquise Williams, a sophomore. I know you guys wanted to make a big impact for you guys this year as well. Is it going to continue kind of being 4, 3, 5 guys going forward, or are you looking to find a main back in these next few games?
They're not. None of them are really big in stature, so we don't want to overload them with carries as we progress through fall camp. Coach Richardson did a nice job kind of divvying up the carries and the reps to those guys. I think Sean is our best back, and hopefully he's able to recover and be ready for Nebraska. Taven Curry's out with an upper body injury, so we didn't see him. Yeah, but I do think throughout the course of the year that we're going to try to continue to get all those guys involved. And if someone has a hot hand and they have it rolling, then we're going to keep that guy, keep feeding him. But yes, I think it'll be a situation where I won't necessarily call it committee, but a bunch of different guys getting carries.
Coach, Ben Finley, obviously one of the leaders on this team. You guys quarterback. Just kind of talk about his performance today and kind of what was said after kind of that interception, just to get his head right in the, back in the right space.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to grab Ben after the game, but I think a little bit, under 50%, only 139 yards passing. We didn't throw a touchdown and had the one, critical interception. So, before I say anything about how Ben played, I know that Ben, is his own toughest critic and wants to play better, and he and I share the same thought process. So, as a senior and a captain and a guy who's played some really good football for us, I think he'll look at it and say there's a bunch of things he needs to do better, and I'll look at it and say the same thing, and we'll watch the tape and work to improve against an obviously very talented Nebraska team.
Just real quick, what did you see on that interception from him?
Oh, it was a play action off of a power sucker that we had run 2 plays earlier, and it was a crack and go by the slot and then a wheel by the back. Looking at it on the sideline outside, it looked like the crack and go from the slot was open. We could have thrown it there. I think he lost track of him, saw the back, and then didn't catch the will linebacker getting underneath it. So 2 things you got to do there, right? You throw a touchdown or throw it out of the back of the end zone, and I got to do a better job, making sure there's no things you can't have in the red zone or turnovers and sacks, and all we need to do is throw that thing through the back of the end zone, and it's third 5 from the 5, and